Hello, my name is Littlemenace, and today I'll be bringing you a video which will cover the top mistakes that Sombra players make. So let's begin with discussing the mistakes Sombra players make using hack. The first and biggest issue I see with Sombra players in hack is they don't hack health packs as much anymore since they don't give ult charge, of course, but the reason why you still want to hack health packs is because it denies the enemies access to using them, and it grants your teammates a huge spike in healing so they can win fights that would sometimes be lost by fighting on top of a health pack that's constantly spawning. I'd also recommend you have 2 health packs hacked at least if they're nearby to avoid making this mistake often, that way your team has extra healing and the enemies can't use it. The second mistake I see Sombra's players make is they're not always calling out hacked targets. The reason why this is bad is because your teammates don't know who can't escape or defend themselves with their abilities. For example, if D.Va's hacked, she can't fly away or matrix for herself, and if you focus her, it's such an easy D-mech. Or if Winston is hacked, it's an easy kill because he has no jump, rage, or bubble. Mercy can't fly, or glide, Mei can't ice block or wall. The best way to avoid this is to communicate with your team who you're hacking and to focus them. If you don't have a mic and you play on PC, you can tell your team that you're going to spam a certain voice command like group up or affirmative when you hack someone, and you'll be shooting at them. That way they can follow up and shoot at them as well. My last mistake I see with hack is I've noticed a lot of Sombra players don't spam hack off cooldown. The reason why you should spam hack off cooldown is because every time you hack someone, you effectively take them out of the game for 6 seconds if they're an ability heavy character, which is almost every character. Like Genji can't double jump or wall climb, Lucio can't heal or wall ride, Mercy can't fly or hover, Tracer can't blink, Moria can't fade, Ryan can't shield, Zarya can't bubble, Road can't hook, Roadhog can't vape, Roadhog can't do anything, Roadhog can exist. Just basically, the character can just exist. They don't get to do anything, Soldier can't run. The way you can avoid this though is to position yourself to the side a little bit so you can get off a hack almost every time without getting interrupted. Otherwise, if you're trying to hack right in front of someone, you're going to be suffering a short cooldown as a penalty. Now that we talked about hack, let's talk about stealth. A common mistake I see people make with stealth is they try to stealth in front of enemies. The reason why this is a bad idea is because you're most likely taking damage trying to stealth in front of them, canceling stealth, but you'll still be in the animation, causing it so you can't shoot back or hack them. My recommendation is to avoid that is just don't stealth in front of enemies. My last common mistake with stealth is not queuing up the cancel before you go for a fight. The reason I say you should do this is because enemies can hear you decloaking and can easily react to killing you. Widowmaker headshotting you, Zen right clicking you, and asleeping you, stuff like that. What I'd recommend doing is if you're teleporting somewhere cloaked, you should melee right as you're about to TP. That way when you're done TPing, you're fully decloaked and can EMP, shoot, hack, or whatever you're going to do. Now that we talked about stealth, let's move on to Translocator. The one issue I see with people using Translocator is not having a way out before they engage fights. What I mean is, they don't have their Translocator in a safe place before they go in deep into the backline, cause them to die since they dropped it in an unsafe place, or they never placed it at all before going in the backline. I'd recommend placing it where you know it's going to be safe, which can be by healers far in the back, or at a safe health pack to heal up instantly after you TP out, then wait the 4 seconds for Translocator, and rinse and repeat. Now let's move on to EMP. I don't have much to say about it, but there are some things I see with it. The biggest issue I see with the EMP is EMPs coming out of nowhere. The reason it's bad to do this is because it can cause your team to over-ult, or not even follow up on your EMP since they have no idea what's coming. The way to avoid that issue is to spam your alt button, and if you have a mic or you can type, is to inform your team of your plan right before you go in for the big EMP. The last issue I see with Sombra players and EMP is holding on for far too long. If you have EMP, you should almost use it instantly in the next fight. Even if you don't get a 6-man EMP, landed on 2 to 3 people would generally win you the fight, especially if you get their tanks to support since they can't retaliate then. Now that we got our abilities out of the way, let's talk about gameplay habits. I see a lot of Sombra players play extremely passive and not going out to poke or cause chaos. The only time you shouldn't be going out to poke or distract is if you're trying to set up for an EMP with your team. Otherwise, you're better off flanking since you have Translocator to escape with. Finally, the last common mistake I see Sombra players make is not communicating about everything. If someone's under half health, you can see them through walls, so inform your team of their exact position, and if you're in the backlines, you can see where everyone is set up, so you can quickly tell your team how they're standing and where they're looking so your team can come up with a plan to ruin their day. Before we end the video, let's go over a quick recap of what we went over. Hack, you should almost be using it constantly while keeping an eye on medpack still. You shouldn't really be trying to get hack interrupted though, so you should be playing on the side, that way you don't suffer the cooldown of it, of course. Stealth, don't use it near enemies or else you could easily get killed. Translocator, be safe with it, it's your only escape you have. EMP, you don't need 6-man EMPs every fight to win. Don't be afraid to use it. And lastly, don't be afraid to be aggressive with Sombra, you can easily teleport out of danger. Anyways, that'll bring us towards the end of this video, guys. Don't forget we have many more guides to offer, and be sure to keep an eye out for the next video in the Sombra series. This has been Littlemenace from Game Leap, and thanks for watching.
Make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.